And just like that, The Rock Dwayne Johnson once again has the pro wrestling world abuzz. On this, the second day of March 2024, just hours removed from Smackdown for 3/1/24, and two massive promos by The Rock just yesterday. Last night, of course, Smackdown, The Rock with the Bloodline, with a promo that spanned 3 straight segments, 45 minutes. Most of that, The Rock on the mic. The only other segment on SmackDown was a Tiffany Stratton versus Naomi match. But that's not even the promo that has everybody buzzing, which, by the way, in this upload, we have something to discuss. The muting out, the blackout screens. It's to the point in WWE where Fox, the USA Network, WWE have to pull their heads out of their own asses because it's affecting the promos, it's affecting the segments, it's affecting the product. That is what is bullshit. The blackout screens, the muting, the beeping out, enough. But we'll talk about that in this upload. That was during the Smackdown promo by The Rock. 45 minutes, 3 straight segments. But it's what happened hours before Smackdown. A 20-plus promo by The Rock. Separate from Smackdown. Another 20-plus minutes that he put up on his social machines. And it's in that promo where he absolutely annihilates Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Because to this very day, we don't have an explanation from Cody Rhodes as to why he changed his mind so many times. But The Rock is telling you his side of it. When Cody came out in Vegas for the press conference, looked at Roman, looked at Rock, and said, "This is bullshit." The Rock is now saying, "No, I'll tell you what's bullshit." And he did it in this 20-minute promo, hours before SmackDown. But it's what he said about Sethington, right? Rollins has been chirping away at The Rock in every interview imaginable over the last 2 weeks. So now The Rock, you want to talk about absolutely going for the knockout punch verbally. The Rock did just that. I want you guys to hear it for yourself. Not the whole 20-plus minutes. He goes hard on Cody in the first half. But it's what he says about Seth and the Netflix deal. And do they even know who Seth is? And then at the end of that, he tells you what he thinks about Cody's story. Like, tell me how you really feel, Rock. So I want you guys to hear. This is going to take a few minutes, but I think it's better to have this discussion after you've heard it for yourself. So this is The Rock talking about the situation that he currently finds himself in because of, as he keeps referring, the Cody crybabies and the walking clown show, Cody's little girlfriend, Seth Rollins. That's Rock's words. This is The Rock.
And then what happened? What happened? The Rock embarrassed you in front of the world, boy. Slapped the shit out of you. You had it coming. Talk shit about my family again. Said it to you then, I'll say it again. I'll say it forever. Talk shit about my family again and I'll do worse than that. But then what happened? Your new best friend. You got a new best friend. How about that? You got a new best friend in the walking clown show known as Seth Rollins. What did Seth do? The Rock slaps the shit out of you. Seth steps to The Rock. The Rock pushed him back, gave him a little love tap. Get back, boy. You don't want any of this. The Rock doesn't know you. You don't know The Rock, but you don't want to know The Rock in that way. This is none of your business. The Rock doesn't know Seth Rollins, never said a word about Seth Rollins publicly, privately, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The Rock has no idea. The Rock has no idea why this man is getting in our business, but he did. And not only that, but then he just can't help himself. Like a lot of the jabronis in the locker room, just can't help himself and start talking shit about The Rock. Take a look.
Yeah, he's going to open his mouth. He's going to run his mouth. He's going to say the same crap he's been saying for the last 2 decades because he can't come up with any new material. But the bottom line is, and I've said it before, he's an afterthought. This is our story. It's our era. We built the last decade of WWE, this Elimination Chamber show, WrestleMania, the biggest ever. We built it without him.
So he can come in, he can get what he wants, he can take his little piece, and then he can go back to Hollywood and do his thing. Because we got this thing, but we don't need you, big guy.
You don't need The Rock, huh? Rock, we don't need you. You don't need The Rock. If you were a little smarter, Seth, you'd realize how stupid you sound. Let The Rock drop some gospel on your goofy ass. You need The Rock in ways that you can't even imagine. Here's some gospel. You think when Ari Emanuel, The Rock's good friend, The Rock's business partner for decades, The Rock's lead agent, someone who The Rock looks to like a big brother. You think when he goes to sit with Netflix across from Ted Sarandos, The Rock's good buddy and business partner, sitting across from Bella Bajaria, The Rock's good friend and business partner at Netflix. You think when they're inking, when they're signing this $5 billion deal for the WWE and Netflix, do you think that Ted and Bella is saying, hey, Ari, when WWE comes to Netflix, is Seth Rollins going to be champion? Do you think that that's what they're asking? No, they're not asking that. Number one, because they don't care. And number two, they don't know who in the hell you are. You know what they're asking? Hey, Ari, we'll sign this $5 billion historical deal. Never before. But one question. Where's the people's champion? One question. Where is the man, The Rock himself? One question. Where's the man who has the most watched film in the history of Netflix? The Rock. Where is he at in this whole thing? Ari looks at them and says, he's locked in for life. He's locked in for life. Director of the board, owns everything as it relates to his name. He's locked in for life. Signed $5 billion. So Seth Rollins, you understand now how much you need The Rock? You understand now, right, boy? And you keep running your mouth. You keep running your mouth, Rock. You find some new material, Rock. Find some new material. Is that right? Okay, well, The Rock has some new material for you. How about this? Here's some new material for you, Seth Rollins. How about this? The Rock sits at the top. Director, TKO board, not WWE, but TKO. Which means The Rock is the boss. Which means The Rock is your boss. Which means The Rock owns everything. The Rock, everything associated with The Rock, the people's champion, owns it all. Which means The Rock is your boss. Which means, Seth Rollins, if you keep running your mouth and sticking your nose in the Bloodline's business, then that world title that you have around your waist, very soon, The Rock will make that title go to somebody else. Read between the lines. Yes, The Rock just blurred it. Keep running your mouth, sticking your nose in the Bloodline's business. This is between The Rock and it is between Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. That's it. Stick your nose where it doesn't belong. The Rock guarantees you. And The Rock has built a career on doing everything he has said he's going to do. The Rock guarantees you stick your nose in our business, that world title that you have around your waist will go to somebody else. It will go to somebody else. And there's two things you can do about it, Seth. Nothing and like it. You keep sticking your nose in our business. The Rock and Roman Reigns are gonna beat your goofy ass right back to the circus with the rest of the clowns. Cody Rhodes, for you, the Cody crybabies, for your new best friend, the walking clown emoji himself, Seth Rollins, and to your goofy ass dog, The Rock says this: you all are advocates of Cody finishing his story. It's so important. Cody Rhodes, you took something from The Rock. You insulted my family. You took something from The Rock. You took something from Roman Reigns. You took something from the millions and millions and millions and millions of the real fans who wanted to see the biggest WrestleMania event of all time. You took it away. You took it away. And now you're gonna pay. Cody Rhodes, from the bottom of my heart, man to man, fuck your story.
Damn, man. Man to man from the bottom of my heart. Fuck your story, Cody Rhodes. Seth Rollins, Netflix doesn't even know who you are. And this company got a $5 billion deal. Not because Seth Rollins is on the show. They don't even know who you are. I mean, The Rock, this is what he does. Cheer him, boo him, like him, can't stand him. It doesn't matter. He verbally can tear you up. John Cena is the only other dude that can really do that. There's dudes really good on the mic, dudes that can blur the line, dudes so real and raw like MJF and a few others. But to tear you up, to leave you embarrassed middle of the ring, fuddling your own lines, John Cena's the only other dude that can really do that. Like really get you off your game because they're just so great at firing off not just insults, but just absolute knockout verbal blows. I mean, you don't come back from stuff like that. Netflix inked a $5 billion deal and they don't know who you are. You're not even a reason as to why. Cody, I can't say this more vividly. Fuck your story. Fuck it. I mean, that's what he's saying. It's absolutely, because he at least is taking the time to explain it from his perspective, what went down. I didn't play the whole thing for you. I mean, he talks about how Cody, they had a conversation and he says, no, yes, you get the WrestleMania spot. How Cody went up and gave him a hug and they talked before the press conference. Right before Rock went out for the press conference. And then all of a sudden, Cody comes out and he changes his mind and we haven't heard a reason as to why. I mean, this is what The Rock will do. He'll go out of his way to cut these type of promos. And all Cody can respond. Cody's response to all this, by the way, was not listening to all that. Sorry that happened, though. Something. I don't even know. I mean, Cody, why would Cody say anything about any of this? That would be out of character. That wouldn't be WWE creative, right? Cody explaining himself. Cody cutting a promo that shows us that he half gives a damn about getting that title back. Because for a whole year, he didn't even talk about Roman Reigns. Wins the Rumble, and all of a sudden, now the story is reignited. But it's The Rock that's pulling on all these numbers. Smackdown continues to get sold out every show that The Rock is on it. The ratings highest when The Rock is on it. 1.3 million views from last night's segment already because The Rock was cutting a 3-segment promo. You don't have to like it, but he is right. This is mega business. You know, he goes earlier. I gotta play this if I can find it. He went hard on what he calls the Cody crybabies, and there was a group that just had a meltdown, and there was podcasters with like audiences, like good-sized audiences that were having a meltdown. Now I gotta believe it's for clicks and views and subscriptions, right? Because they were all bragging, wow, we gained so many new subscribers, and the views were coming in, right? Because everybody was having this meltdown together. And I guess this big podcast, because it has Bubba, Busted Podcast, I believe it is called, if I can get it. Hold on. Okay, so I'm going to play this audio for you. This is just The Rock and again, this certain group of Cody crybabies, headlined by this podcast with Bubba Ray and Mark Henry. That's not who's speaking. You're actually going to hear, maybe it's like the host, but he's in a pink. The guy who you're about to hear, it's a split screen with Bubba and Mark Henry, and this dude is in a pink bathrobe and a Cody Rhodes t-shirt underneath. He's wearing a pink bathrobe, and he's absolutely flipping out, talking about how he hates The Rock. Hates The Rock. And it's like, it's not exactly normal behavior. Listen to The Rock in this clip.
All the Cody crybabies out there, still running their mouths that The Rock has got to deal with. All the jabronis in the locker room still running their mealy mouths that The Rock has still got to deal with. Cody crybabies. Take a look.
You know who is my favorite wrestler right now? It's Cody Rhodes. Do you know who I hate and I fucking despise in this moment? It's Dwayne Johnson, member of the board of directors of TKO. I hate that man right now in this moment. Not as a person,
right now,
obviously, but as a wrestling fan watching the product. The person I want to boo, the person I hate the most is Dwayne Johnson, board of directors of the WWE and TKO. That's who I am angry at right now, because I am looking at the board of director that came in, used his power to take this opportunity away from Cody and put himself in the main event at WrestleMania 40. That's how I look at it right now.
So you see, this is the level of absurdity and bullshit that The Rock has got to deal with. The Rock doesn't know who that guy is, but he knows what he is, and that's a goof, an idiot, another pro wrestling Cody crybaby jack-off idiot who thinks he knows everything but doesn't know shit. The guy is sitting in his basement with a bathrobe and a Cody Rhodes t-shirt on, and he's talking about how much he hates The Rock. You don't give that guy a podcast, you give him a straight jacket. He hates The Rock. You hate The Rock, you hate The Rock. It has nothing to do with the board. The Rock will get to that in a second. It has everything to do with common sense, you idiot, you goof, and to all the Cody crybabies who are grown-ass men who think you know it all when you don't know shit. You listen up to The Rock right now. It has nothing to do with the board. It has nothing to do with the fact that The Rock owns everything as it relates to The Rock, the people's champion, full ownership, which means The Rock is the boss. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with common sense.
Yeah. Oh, man. Ripping these podcasters up, man, who absolutely had a meltdown. And then their audiences, obviously, like little minions, ran around having the same meltdown because they saw their hero podcaster doing the same thing. It was wild, man. It changed the main event of Mania and everything. We all know how that worked out. And we lost a bona fide dream match in the process to watch the same main event we saw last year, and it looks like it's still going to end with Roman walking away with the championship. I can confirm the talks are still on the table that the route they're going is Roman going for Hulk Hogan's record. So it's hilarious. Like, there's people in the community that just get upset when they hear that. Well, we stop talking about the Hogan record. It's so stupid. Everybody's got to stop talking about that. It's not even important. What do you mean stop? That's what it looks like they're doing. Roman is walking out of 40 with the title. Whether Rock stays with Roman and cost Cody and we end up with Cody and Rock in the future, or Seth Rollins turns on Cody, because that could happen. You absolutely could see Seth Rollins, right? Rock and Roman maybe get beat on night one, so the Bloodline is completely banned from night two's main event, but it's Seth Rollins, because he wouldn't be banned. Rollins cost Cody, possibly. Right? So he cost Cody, and Roman walks out with the title, and there it is a few months after, around SummerSlam, right after, it would be Hulk Hogan's record shattered by Roman Reigns. So it doesn't matter if you're upset that that's the talk in the wrestling world. Doesn't matter if you don't like that talk or you don't want to talk about it. That's what it looks like is happening. Roman is walking out of 40 with that title. They're going for Hulk Hogan's record. So, if that was the result anyway, we might as well have just seen The Rock and Roman put on the Mega Dream match, because Cody wouldn't be getting the title anyway. But man, The Rock, man. And none of this that I played for you had anything to do with Smackdown last night. Netflix doesn't know who you are, Cody, your story, tearing into the Cody crybabies, as he calls them, ripping the podcasters apart in their pink bathrobes, screaming, I hate The Rock. How dare he come back for a main event to bring lots of eyeballs back to the How dare he do that? This new TKO board of director. Oh, I hate authority. Nothing to do with the Smackdown promo. This was all just The Rock doing what he does on a it looks like a cell phone. Like outside of his gym, possibly. Speaking of the Smackdown promo, I don't even need to go over that. I put up the review late last night around midnight. The Smackdown review was put up on the channel. I appreciate the thousands of you guys that were able to catch that sense. And smashing that up, showing that appreciation and love right back to you. I do want to touch on something that was not talked about in the review. I had it in my notes, but I felt it should be a separate upload. That was before I heard this promo, which became the focal point of this upload. But I still want to talk about this for several minutes. It is the blacking out of the screen during promos and matches even that Fox and USA has been doing. Fox more than anybody. The beeping out with words they don't like. The muting, the absolute muting. Not just for the word, but it's even for chants, by the way. Holy shit, we'll get a absolute blackout or a mute every single time that part of the chant comes up. So it's on, off, sound, mute, sound, mute. It is a horrible viewing and listening experience for the viewer, for your audience. It is happening far too often. And I blame all three entities, Fox for sure, USA Network, and WWE. This past Tuesday, Shawn Spears came back to WWE. Ty Dillinger, the Perfect 10, you guys remember? He came back to WWE, showed up in NXT, took out Ridge Holland with a steel chair. And Vic Joseph was about to tell everybody who may have forgotten or don't know who he is, and before he can spit Shawn Spears, because some of the crowd was, I believe, chanting, holy shit, before he can spit out who it is, USA Network started muting. And WWE started muting out the chants, which muted out Vic Joseph completely. So you never, I'm going to say this as vividly as I can, you never knew who that was. If you never saw the dude or you forgot who he was, you never heard his name. Vic Joseph set it up. Beep, mute, done. And if you're thinking, well, I mean, when they unmuted, they must have said his name a few times because they sat and let the segment breathe, right? Nope. NXT decided to immediately cut back in the parking lot for two dudes that have some beef. The segment after Spears showed up, 5 seconds later, we're in the parking lot. We didn't even let the segment breathe. You never heard who it was. They muted it out because of chants. Every time The Rock is out there, half his promo is muted out. Last night was the last straw. Last night was absolutely pathetic. The screen kept blacking out, and when it blacked out, it muted. And it did that about 36 times, no exaggeration, 36 times. And come to find out, we believe it is because one fan in the crowd had a Die Rocky Die sign, as if it's the late 1990s, by the way. I don't know why you're showing up to an arena with a Die Rocky Die. It's a little odd. But the dude was just making a play on the 90s. Not understanding that was going to ruin it for all of us. Because they literally black and muted everything out every time that sign was shown. And by the way, there was many more occasions where the sign actually got through. So they didn't even have a process where they actually eliminate the visual every time. Because I still saw it 100 times. So they blacked it out, and you were missing out on all of these key words and phrases and parts of the promo from The Rock. And then after the blackouts, it just went to all the muting, not just the chants, but The Rock. He was saying some stuff, and every time it would be unmuted, the crowd would be like, oh, and you're like, would have loved to have heard it. And then what it does is it affects the words that are not even should be censored, or you would think would be censored. Because the guy, the jackass, who just has his finger like he just took a bunch of sugar and Ritalin and who else knows, bunch of fucking, what was it, Glendale, Arizona, what do you call it, the crack and meth capital of the world? Well, maybe the dude in the truck was on a lot of some hopped up shit because he just had both fingers ready to rock. Mute, blackout, mute, blackout, mute, blackout. So this dude was off base on so many occasions where he was muting out things that shouldn't have even been censored. 45-minute promo, 3 segments. Half of it, bare minimum, was muted or blacked out on flip-flop occasion. Like just on, off, hot, cold. More than half. The entire promo, what am I saying? The entire promo was hot, cold, on, off. Sound, mute. Screen on, blackout. Censor everything Sammy was on his game, right? Or off his rocker, whichever way you decide to look at it. But censor everything Sammy was just all fingers aboard. Ready to just get everything. Like this is a fucking game. Like it's whack-a-mole. Like it's Tetris. Can't let anything build up. We're gonna nail it right. Oh, did he say damn? Censor. Did he say what? Censor. Did he say candy? Censor. 2024. Can't say anything. The crowd can't even chant. It's the crowd chanting. If your kid is going to run out after he hears the crowd say a chant like holy shit, which you can barely pick up anyway, but if your kid is going to run out into the streets and be a bad human being because he heard a chant on a TV show, then it's bad parenting. Don't blame WWE. But it's 2024. We just heard Rhea Ripley just ripped up the fans again. She's always ripping up fans. Rhea Ripley cannot stand fans. There's like 4 or 5 articles on Rhea Ripley always just trashing fans. I don't like the airport stuff. Watch your boundaries. I don't like when fans are saying this about us in the ring. They should just sit there and accept everything. Be nice. Don't be mean. Don't boo. I just heard Rhea Ripley rip a portion of the crowd at a house show because they were booing Maxine. That's it. One guy said, and I quote, boo, boo, Maxine, you suck. You suck. Don't come back. That's all he said. That's all he said. And Rhea replayed the clip and was talking about how we have to be better human beings. And she can only wish that at your job, you get publicly ridiculed and heckled and booed. You're a pro wrestler. Maxine isn't a Starbucks employee. She doesn't work as a stocker at the local food store. She's not stocking the wood at the local Home Depot. She's not an electrician. She's not a plumber. She's not a painter. She doesn't deliver for Amazon. She's a pro wrestler. Cheering and booing and heckling is pro wrestling. It's what you do as fans. Back in the day, I'm not even going to tell you what fans used to do. So if you can't hack, boo, you suck, don't come back. If that makes you flip out in a rage and the fans have to be better humans, how dare you show up and tell a wrestler, boo, you suck, don't come back. It's their fucking town. They can tell you whatever they want. If they want to tell you to come back more, or if they want to tell you to never come back, that's not derogatory. That's not over the top rude. That's not harassment. It's none of it. It's a fan having some fun. Boo, you suck, don't come back. It's 2024. The wrestlers want to censor fans for saying you suck. The TV stations want to censor every little word. Like, shit. From the crowd, not even the wrestler on the microphone. Which just come up with a better way then. There's got to be a way. Silent the crowd, but let the person on the mic go. Or if you're going to censor certain words that are in the promo, maybe you can make it for that split second of the word and not have the entire 10 seconds of that part of the promo completely edited out or clipped out or absolutely blacked out, muted out. Maybe it could just be that one word. Is there a way we could do this better? They put a man on the moon, but we have to censor an entire half of a promo. Yes, that's got me fired up. There was a moment it got so bad, I audibly had to yell out, "What are you fucking doing? What are you doing?" You can't even follow along these days with the promos. You can't follow along. That's the problem. The promos aren't even making sense. You're missing the best parts. You're not feeling the promo because the live crowd is completely being muted and blacked out. You can't even flow with the promo because the promos are not flowing to us or for us. I hope that makes sense. I had to audibly yell out, "What the fuck are you doing? Let it play, man. It's too much." It was every 3 seconds it would black out and then mute out. Sometimes you get the visual, but then it would mute. Sometimes it would totally black out. It would black out with the mute, so you got nothing. And this was 45 minutes of this. Thank you for allowing me a few minutes to get that off my chest, to really rage about that a little bit, because that pissed me off. And it was in my notes for the review last night, but I knew I wanted to keep that semi-short. It was going up late at around midnight. I didn't want to take 10 extra minutes to rant about that, but it was in my notes. I knew I was going to talk about it. This seems like the perfect time to do it because the focal point of this upload was The Rock and that promo we cut hours before SmackDown. So I might as well just put my frustration with the SmackDown promo with this upload. Thank you. That's the upload that we got for you on this weekend edition of a special Amped Up podcast. Appreciate you guys, man. Much love and respect until next time, and there will be that next time. Top guys, we are out. BC saying check you. Peace. Do better, USA. Do better, Fox. Do better, WWE. We could do better than this. You gotta stop censoring all of us, the wrestlers and us, and to a portion of the talent. Do better. Watch the fans that you're censoring. If they're obnoxious, if they're ruining it for others, if it's over the point of acceptable, absolutely. Remove them from the arena, silence them on social doohickeys. I get it. But if it's simplistic, like, boo, you suck, don't come back, then to the talent, I would say, do better. You're telling the fans to be better human beings. I would ask some of the talent, be better at your job. Maybe instead of chanting, don't come back, they'll say, hey, come back more. Top guys, we're out. BC saying check you. Peace.